Today we're going to be talking about some of the templates that might help you make your life easier as you go along in determining the work that you need to do in your project.
As a single professional, I had debt and no savings after my divorce. I always wonder how I can start investing in real estate to secure my future. I studied programs that gave me all the benefits of investing in real estate. Some claim I could start with no money, but I could not find one that gave me the practical, actionable steps I needed. As a wealth advisor, I've met people that own real estate but weren't ahead financially. They were rich, but they weren't wealthy. Then I finally realized that there was one vital component missing that makes someone become wealthy or not. And on the show, I will reveal what I found and give you the step-by-step actions to start investing in real estate and increase your wealth. My name is Araceli. Let's get started.
One of the things that I'm going to encourage you to do along the way that you are starting to manage different projects is that you start getting into generating a template. And templates is just basically, you can do it on a piece of paper, you can do it on your computer, maybe a tablet or an iPad, maybe on your phone. That might be the easiest thing if that's what you like. So it depends. Everybody is different. There's programs out there as well that they have templates. If you are good with Excel, you can generate a template in Excel as well. But it's something that is going to work for you. In my background as an engineer, I developed a lot of templates while I was working in different projects. And as you go along, you'll develop that because there's certain things that you will continue to do on an ongoing basis. So in a house, for example, you're always going to have a roof. You're always going to have foundation. You're always going to have windows. And we have talked in different videos about the level of repair of each one's. And the level of repairs, whether it's small, medium, or large, will have a cost associated with it. And the best way for you to start keeping track of that is developing a template. Today, I'm going to share a little bit about how I developed a template that works for me and works very well. The important thing about this is not the format that you use, whether it's on paper, whether it's on the tablet or on the computer. You need to have results with it. It's something that you're used to it, that you know where the data is going to be, and that you know how to use it. So your template might be a bit different than mine, but it's just as effective. And especially if you're a contractor, I really encourage you to do that because it has tremendous value. You will be able to price things a lot faster, and they would be quite accurate as you go along. So let's get into it. I'm going to show you just a quick template that I use and how I determine my level of repair. And this is a very high level. I still would like you to get, if you're not a contractor, of course, right, to get 3 quotes so you can get the best quote. And you're going to learn as well as you go along because your template might say, you know, I want to do this and that. And the contractor might say, no, we can do this and that. And now you can validate both. At the beginning, probably the discrepancy will be large. So that means that you're either having too many items that they need to be repaired, or you don't have enough items. So you're going to learn as you go. And the more projects you do, you'll find that each one of them will have exactly the same things, and you can estimate faster as you go along. For a real estate investor, this is one of the best skills that you can have because sometimes contractors are not available when you need them, and sometimes you don't have access to the property only on a certain period of times. So it might be difficult to line up 2 or 3 contractors to be there at the same time or when you have access to the property. In the cases for myself, I didn't have access to the property until I had the deed transferred into my name after the auction was finished. because the majority of my properties were bought at auction. So I really didn't have the ability to see what needed to be repaired. I could estimate from the outside what I wanted to do, and I always had a little bit of a budget for what I wanted to do inside. But if you do have access to the property, like let's say you're getting it from a private seller, you might be able to walk through the property, and sometimes you don't have the contractor right there with you. So this will really help you, because it'll help you with the offer, and it will help you to estimate how long it's going to take you to complete the repair based on what you've done before. And remember, the first few projects you're learning, so you're going to rely a lot on the contractors before you actually develop your templates. But as you go along, starting to develop a template would be a tremendous value added for you, and it will be a lot easier for you to control the transaction right from the beginning. Okay, so let me just show you this template, and we'll walk you through, and I hope that you can develop one for yourself. Hold on a second. There we go. Okay, so this is my repair estimator, and I have developed this template for a few years now. And every time that I do a repair that includes a certain item, I record it in here so I can check my level of repair. If I can, sometimes I ask for more quotes. What if I do less, more, and more? And then I can get the answer, so I can populate the prices within my template, and you'll develop your own. But this one is just a quick the check for you, that it can give you maybe some inspiration in developing your own template. So as you can see here, what I do is I always put the details on the property. So the address of the property, what type it is. In this case, this is a duplex. What is the square footage of each unit? The lot size, who did the estimate. In this case, I did that, and the date. And I have a few notes, what I want the use of this property to be, if it's going to be a flip, some details about the property, what you like that needs extensive landscape, or the roof is really damaged. You can just put here just a little bit of details of what you can see in the property, and that it can give you an idea of what level of repair is required in that specific area. Okay, so here you can see the total estimate, and this is basically the addition. I just have a formula with each one of them. When I populate them, that it will come up here and it will add it. As you can see, this is a big repair, and there's a checklist and estimates, the notes for this particular property, and the reference repair calculations. This is where you're going to have the amount of money, whether it's a small, a medium, or a large repair. And as you go along, as I said, you will determine what that is for you particular situation. But I think here I have, obviously, do I need a roof? And in this case, the property needs a roof, and it needs to have basically redone because there has extensive damage. I also noted here that the height of this building, it's really high. So in this case, my current contractor cannot do this job, so I'm gonna have to go to a different contractor to make sure that this gets done. So anything that you know along the way, that if you have experience with this before, then you can put it in here, because that is gonna help you remember, first of all, where are you gonna go and get the quote. If you already have a contractor that can do it, and maybe they've done repairs before for you, and you can get an estimate right away of what it would cost to do this particular repair in this particular project. Then I have some of the exterior paint and siding. The same, if it does have siding, it's going to be a different price versus if it is just paint that you need, or maybe you need to do a power wash in the property if you have brick. Or maybe you have a combination. So you can add that into this column that says notes for this particular property. And I've developed some prices here on what is needed. For example, the windows in this particular property, I have a total of 51 windows, and there was about 43 of them that, in my opinion, they need to be replaced. So have an estimate of 200, and remember, each one of the windows is going to have a little bit of a different price, but in average, if you're going to replace a small window versus a large window, might be 150 versus 300, so the average would be 200, and you will be safe with this type. And remember, this is also something that you need to check within your location, because every single state and province, depending on where you are in the US or Canada, they have different prices. And some of them, they will sell you the material, and then the labor would be at a different rate. So you have to also have that into consideration. And if there is a garage repair, in this case, yard cleanup, heating or furnaces, they need to be replaced, plumbing need repair, electrical need repair, foundation or basement repair. Does it need an interior paint? This is something that I pretty much do in all my houses, no matter what, because a fresh coat of paint, it will improve the property 1,000 times. It's not very expensive depending on how big the property is. Are you going to do the flooring? So carpets, vinyl, tile, all of that needs to be recorded so you know how many different types of materials you have. The kitchen, obviously, if it needs repair, if you are going to be providing appliances. In a lot of the houses that I did, appliances were not included, but in a lot of them were. So you gotta really know the location that you're in. If the expectation is for you to have appliances, then you need to get those here as well. And obviously you're gonna see, in this case, you're also gonna have levels, right? Like, are you gonna have basic appliances, which is just maybe for a rental? Or you're gonna have higher end appliances if you have, if you're doing a flip. The bathrooms, they need to be repaired. If you are changing layout of the rooms, you might need the sheetrock, or maybe you already have something that is damaged. Dumpsters and decks. So if you have a lot of garbage or a lot of reconstruction, you're going to be tearing down walls, you may have to use more dumpsters. The same if you're going to replace the driveway, do you really need to do that, and what kind of driveway you have. Some of the miscellaneous things like brick point, power wash, doors, landscaping. And I usually put a little bit of a contingency, and I go from large project to small project, and at the top of the sheet you will have that. And I also have another column just to give me the actual cost, just in case I was off. I like to know how off I was and why. So I have these notes on the actual repair. Maybe I got a quote that it was better, or I'm doing a different type of roof, anything like that, that you can put it in here. And at the end of the project, I always have a lessons learned to go through what happened, why I needed to do more, or why I didn't do more, which is a good thing to have. But that is basically what you would do, and I hope that you can use something like this that you can generate very easily on an Excel sheet, or you can just track it yourself on a piece of paper and just make sure that you label it roofs, and then you have all your quotes there. So I hope this helps. Thank you for being here on the show. Please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified when there are more shows available. And if you would like to have more information on how to start investing in real estate, please visit my website at www.aracelihernandez.com. Thank you.